Welcome to my PLAB 2 trip. So I just arrived at Houston. I'm gonna be here for the next 24 hours, more or less. I'm doing a short layover because I need to do some shopping. I'm getting married in about a month and a half, so I need to buy some things for my outfit. And the sister of my bride-to-be lives here in Houston, so I'm staying at their place with her husband. And yeah, gonna be here. I take the exam in about more or less 12 days, 14 days. So I just wanted to express how I'm feeling at the moment, what's going to be my itinerary for this trip. And just right now, I'm at the Houston International Airport. I'm gonna arrive at London more or less like at 8 a.m. their time tomorrow, Monday. And yeah, the reason why I'm going so early is because I'm going to an academy. I'm gonna explain about this academy in a moment. But that's the reason why I'm going so early before the exam. First of all, I want to get rid of the jet lag that I'm pretty sure I'm going to get after this flight. And second of all, I want to practice a lot and feel comfortable with examination stations, procedure stations, simulations. So that's the main reason why I'm going so early for my exam. So bear with me. You're going to be for the next few minutes with me. Please, if you find any of this information valuable to you and you feel other junior doctors around the world applying to the UK medical system can benefit from, then please like and share this video, comment on it so you can continue recommending it to other colleagues. And yeah, see you in a bit. It's been such a long travel process because I was not staying at London. I needed to take a train all the way to Crewe because the academy where I'm going to be studying for the next 2 weeks is here. And it's going to be even closer to Manchester, which is where the exam takes place. I want to focus this video on 3 main points, and they are really crucial when you're going to be thinking about taking your PLAB 2 and how your strategy is going to look like. My first point was timing. I passed my PLAB 1 back in November 2023, so I tried booking my PLAB 2 about 6 months later. Timing is important because depending on what you do on your day-to-day basis, so in my case, I am a full-time medical doctor, working clinical doctor, and I work mainly in the GP setting, in the outpatient clinic, but I also do locums in the ER department and hospitalization wards, and I also work with anesthesia team back in my hospital. So my agenda most of the time looks pretty packed. And besides that, I'm also working on research and working on QIPs and working on projects. So getting ready for the PLAB has been quite a challenge, especially with trying to balance other parts of my life. I knew I was going to be struggling during this first part of 2024 with time, so that's why I chose to do my PLAB 2 6 months after my PLAB 1. So I had enough time to study and to balance all of these other parts of my life together with studying, which takes me to my second point. How do I study for this test? It's so different compared to the PLAB 1. PLAB 1 is just, you have applications, you have platforms, you have, for example, plabable. If you haven't seen my video review on plabable, it can appear at some point here on your screen. But you can go there and watch what I think about the platform and how I used it for PLAB 1 in case you want to recommend it to other colleagues. But going again into this matter, I think PLAB 2 is a completely different beast, and at least in Honduras, and I don't know if in the rest of Central America or Latin America is the same, but we don't have standardized tests, we don't have practical, we don't have OSCEs for us to go over and review and become better doctors when we are in medical school. So this format is completely new to me. And there are so many resources online, and you'll see so many videos that tell you go to this academy, go to the other academy. And for me, it was really overwhelming not having a single source of where to study. You have the basic blueprint of the UKMLA, which is what the PLABs are going to be called now. And you can use that. It gives you a pretty nice set of topics and a list of items that you need to study for the exam and procedures, examinations, stuff like that. But it's such a weird test because you have different station types and you need to get familiarized with how to approach each station, what type of topics you're going to be asked on each station. So unless you find the books of a certain academy and study from them by your own and get a really nice group of people with whom you can study,
I would actually recommend you going to an academy if you can afford it and if you have the time. And it doesn't need to be a physical academy like the one I'm going to be attending, but at least to an online academy. And there's a lot of them. I'm not going to promote any particular one, but there's a lot of online coaches out there that they can get you ready for this type of exam. So it's really challenging, and I would recommend you start looking for your resources as soon as possible. If you have your PLAB 2 in 3 months, then you cannot lose any more time. If you only have 2 months, you cannot lose any time going over, I'm gonna jump from this academy to this academy. I would recommend you to just choose one. Of course, read enough reviews, and I'm gonna do a review afterwards of different types of academies and resources I used. But choose one and compromise to it and finish all of their textbooks and videos and whatever they offer you. But really, one of the most important things is practice. This exam is practice, practice, practice. So you need a good set of people that you can trust, that you can study together. So in my case, I had a group of other Hondurans, which we created via WhatsApp. I knew only 1 or 2 of them, and the other ones were friends of friends. So we just got together, created this WhatsApp group, and started practicing every other night. We would choose different stations and different scenarios, and I would tell them, all right, I'm gonna be a patient with this. You're the doctor, let's simulate a station. And you had like guidelines to practice and like scripts like actors, which is how pretty much the real thing is gonna be, but you're gonna have professional actors there. So besides getting your right resources, you need a great group of people with whom to study. So pretty much that sums up all the strategy, but I'm gonna create a very detailed video afterwards on this. And my third point about how my preparation looked like and how I'm feeling is that, I don't know, I'm very anxious about the exam because it's such a big deal and it's going to decide pretty much my future. It's not the only chance. If I don't get it on the first time, I can always apply more times, and that's something you need to know, that if you don't make it, there's nothing wrong. You can still have several other attempts, but the thing is you need to be traveling back to the UK if you're not from here. So that's going to take money and that's going to take time from you. So the goal is to pass it on the first attempt, and that's putting a lot of stress on me, especially with all the other things I have going on. So I feel a bit overwhelmed. On the medical aspect of it, I believe I have very good interpersonal skills, communication skills, so at least that part of the exam, I think I've got it covered. But I always run out of time when practicing, so I still need to fix that, be able to finish my stations earlier, be able to give the information to the patient, to answer all of their concerns, ideas, any questions they have. And there are still some stations I don't feel comfortable with, which is why I'm coming to an academy, because I wanted to practice on simulators, on mannequins, have real professional people telling you what you're doing wrong in your station, how you can improve it, and all these little details that are definitely going to have a great impact on your exam grade. So I feel overwhelmed, but at the same time I feel kind of confident in the knowledge I have as a doctor, and that's one of the things I love about my job, that I practice medicine day to day, not only in clinic, like in GP clinic, which is most of the cases we're going to see in the PLAB, in the MLA, but also in the ER, which is also some stations that you're going to have on the exam. So I feel pretty comfortable with at least 90% of the medical topics that come in this exam, which is great, as well as with the examinations and procedures, because I do them all the time. But regardless, I don't want to be overconfident, and I'm trying to balance that, and I'm still trying to study and work. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the following 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before my exam. If you find any information of this video useful, I would recommend you to share it with other people that are applying to the PLABs, especially if they're just beginning their preparation, so that they can know how the process looks like and how they feel and how they can be gaining more experience going through their resources and trying to study for their exam. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. If you have any supportive comments for me, then I would appreciate them as well. And definitely expect some further videos of me and my experience at this academy, what are my reviews on different academies, reviews on different resources I tried and used for the PLAB. But before recording all of that, I need to make sure I pass my PLAB. So for the next weeks, I'll probably be disconnected from my social media and from this channel. And I'll let you know what happens after my exam. So see you in at least some days, if not, see you in a few weeks. So take care. Cheers.